guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Natalia and today I'm coming to you with the reader problems tag. So it basically gives you like a problem and asking you what would you do, how would you deal with this problem. So I think let's just get into it. The first question or like situation is, you have 20,000 books on your TBR. How in the world do you decide what to read next? First of all, I cannot imagine having that many books on my TBR. I have like about maybe 300, and that already feels like way too many. But okay, let's say that this is how many books I have on my TBR. I think, I would just probably try to go with my mood. So, cause I'm a mood reader, so I would try to feel what I wanna read at the moment. Or like if it's really too hard to decide, maybe I would make like a spinning wheel that would help me decide what to read next. Okay, next question. You're halfway through a book and you're just not loving it. Do you quit or are you committed? I don't know. I feel like in the past it was easier for me to just quit reading books, and now I feel more committed to finishing them. I don't know if it's because like now I'm doing like my Bookstagram and BookTube, and I update everything on Goodreads. I don't know why. I think this makes me feel the pressure that I should finish the book, especially if I want to review it. But honestly, I don't want to do that. Like, I want to start feeling more comfortable with DNFing books, because it is essentially a waste of time if you're not enjoying a book. I really doubt that you will magically start enjoying it in the middle. So I think I should start being more comfortable with DNFing books. Question number 3. The end of the year is coming and you're so close but so far away on your Goodreads reading challenge. Do you try to catch up, and how? I wouldn't be like, if I'm really far away, if I feel like it's not physically possible for me to read these books in like my regular speed, I would just like change the challenge. So let's say if I'm saying, oh, I want to read 40 books, I would just like change it to maybe 35 or something like that, just so I can hit the challenge but also don't feel the pressure to suddenly start reading a lot more than usual. Like I said, I would just change the number of the books in the challenge. Next question. The covers of a series you love do not match. How do you cope? I mean, if it's possible to buy covers that match, I would maybe buy them and get rid of the ones that do not match. But if it's not possible, if it was just published this way, maybe I would just try to put them far away from each other on a shelf, so like it's not that visible. I don't know, it is pretty like annoying, especially because I'm a perfectionist. So I think little things like that bother me so much, even though I know it shouldn't. It's just a book. Obviously the content is the most important part, but I wish they would match. Question number 5. Everyone and their mother loves a book you really don't like. Who do you bond with over shared feelings? Well, first of all, I think there isn't a book that is loved by everyone. Even if you feel like everyone loves it, you can go on Goodreads and you will find 1-star reviews very easily. So maybe, I would maybe do that. I would go to Goodreads and try to search 1-star reviews, or maybe, I would try to share my opinion on YouTube or Instagram and see if anyone feels the same way, or I would just try to forget about this book. Yeah. Next question. You're reading a book and you're about to start crying in public, how do you deal? I feel like I would just, if I feel like I'm about to cry, I would just stop reading at this point and finish it when I get home. Yeah, you would not want to cry in public. I think I would, like, crying is not embarrassing, but you know, I have social anxiety, and I think that would be too embarrassing for me personally to have some stranger see me cry. So I would just stop reading immediately. Question number 7. A sequel of a book you loved just came out, but you've forgotten a lot from the prior novel. Will you reread the book, skip the sequel, try to find a synopsis on Goodreads, cry in frustration? Definitely not skip the sequel. But like, if I've forgotten a lot, I think it depends. I might either try to read the synopsis or like other people's reviews, because they sometimes sum up what happened in the book, and also sometimes the author as well. When you read the sequel, they kind of throw in bits and pieces of what happened in the previous book. Or maybe if I really feel like I don't remember anything, then in that case I might reread it. Sometimes I just jump into it and hope that I magically remember what had happened in the previous book. Okay, question number 8. You do not want anyone borrowing your books. How do you politely tell people nope when they ask? It's true, but also nobody really asks me to borrow my books, but I feel like if someone would ask, I would feel like I do not want to borrow, because they feel like my children, and I wouldn't just borrow my children to someone. Do you know what I mean? I think, but then on the other hand, I find it hard to reject someone's request, so I feel like maybe I would just end up borrowing it just because I do not want to reject their request. But maybe if it's someone I feel more comfortable with, I would just tell them the truth, like, I don't feel comfortable borrowing my books. But that's only like if I really am close with this person, and you know, I know that they're not gonna be hurt by this. So next question. You've picked up and put down 5 books in the last month. How do you get over your reading slump? I would say when I feel like I am in a bit of a reading slump right now. There are a few different things that I would do in this situation. First one is just waiting it out. I mean, if you really do not feel like reading, just don't do it. Like, you do not have to read every single day, and it's okay. So maybe just taking a break from reading, it can get you out of the reading slump. The next thing would be to just pick up some like very fast-paced, pretty, not very long books. Maybe a thriller or something like that. Something that you can just read very quickly, and it can really grab your attention. And you know, it doesn't involve like, I don't know, heavy world building like in a fantasy book. Because actually I'm reading a fantasy book right now, and like I said, I'm kind of in a reading slump, and I think it's just not a good combination. So I think I should just try reading something else, and maybe that can get me out of the reading slump. And the last, I guess, would be to just reread the books that you already read and you know that you love them. I think that can also get you out of the reading slump. Okay, the next question. There are so many new books coming out that you're dying to read. True. How many do you actually buy? Not many. I'm a student, so I'm like really on a budget, if you could say. I borrow a lot of books from the library as well. And like I said, like I have about 300 books on my TBR, but it's not my physical TBR, it's just like my TBR on Goodreads. Usually I just buy books to read for like the next month or two. So yeah, usually on my shelf I have like maybe just a few books that I haven't read. I think currently I have about 4 books that I haven't read, and one of them is borrowed from the library, so I don't buy that many books, to be honest. Okay, the last question. After you've bought the new books you can't wait to get to, how long do they sit on your shelf before you get to them? So it's kind of connected with the previous question and my previous answer. So I do not buy that many books at once, so they do not sit on my shelf for a long time, maybe like a month, about a month before I read them. Actually, the only one that has been on my shelf for a pretty long time is let me get it out. Oh, One of Us is Next. I don't know, like I'm just never in the mood to read this. It's been on my shelf for like a good few months, at least maybe like 4 months, I don't know. I do want to finally get into it. I'm just not feeling it, so it's just been sitting on my shelf. But it's just like, it's an exception, you know, because usually I read the books that I buy pretty quickly. Okay, that was actually the last question in the Reader Problems book tag. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!